Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Just win, baby. That's the only message I got for y'all. Let's do it. We gotta up the standard, and the standard is gonna be set.
Top of the morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another edition of Good Morning Raider Nation's live podcast right here on Raiders Allegiance with yours truly, Lunatic Raider, man. Thank each and every one of you guys for pulling up, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody watching. If this is your first time here, you already know the whole deal. Subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up. While you're at it, leave a comment, share, and hit that notification bell also. That's what you can do for me, man. It don't cost a dime to be a part of mine. Welcome to the platform of all platforms. It's the Raiders Allegiance platform. Thank y'all for being here. Top of the AM. We got news. You know, today is that day where the veterans check in to camp. You know what it is. Yes, we are coming off of, we signed Mr. Peters to a 1-year, $5 million deal. And as it stands, Josh Jacobs is now the only sole player who's been franchise tagged that will not be at camp. Yes, because Mr. Barkley of the Giants has signed his deal for 1 year, $11 million, with $909,000 signing bonus with incentives. You know what I mean? So it's around $11 million a year for 1 year. Josh could have did the same thing at 10.03, but you know, he'd rather have had the fifth year option that's cheaper than franchise tag. But it is what it is, man. We'll see how long he holds out, man. They said he don't plan on being back anytime soon. Hey, business is business. Business. Hey, if the way you feel like you have to handle your business, handle your business. But don't start crying if somebody takes your job. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't start crying if somebody takes your job, because these young thoroughbreds are hungry. They're hungry. They want to start too. Now you got Sincere McCormick back. Oh, we're going to talk all about this. Since camp is opening today, we're going to talk, and I already told you guys my top 3 undrafteds that I'm looking at. There's more than that, really, but I just want to go top 3. The 3 undrafteds I want to keep my eye on and see exactly, can they make the 53-man roster? You know what I mean? Or do they wind up on the practice squad? We're going to see. But shout out to everybody out there in the chat, man. And thank y'all for being here this morning. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today, camp, they report, and tomorrow they get down with the get down. You already know what it is, man. Out here in beautiful, hot-ass Las Vegas, 115 degrees with a hot breeze of 98. You can't beat it. You know what I mean? It's like having the devil breathe down your back. You know what I mean? We in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let's go ahead and shout out the extended family. You know what it is. Tony Shepard, man. Top of the Oh, hold on. I went a little bit too back. Hold on. Let me start from the beginning. I see you, though, Tony. Hey, Tony, I see you. Hey, top of the morning, Tony, man. Thank you for being here. Raider Nation, Jason in the building. You had a few players on my show last 2 Sundays. Definitely check it out. I'm gonna have to check them out, bruh. You know, Sundays I gotta go into work. Was it in the evening? I did a show Sunday early when I got up. You know what I mean? Talking about Garoppolo passing his physical. And I usually don't do a Sunday show, but I want to throw that out there because, you know, people were saying he was going to go to the PUP list. He ain't going to be ready for camp. You know, all that BS. But it is what it is. We here now. You feel me? We here now. Eagletarian 207, man. What's the deal, man? Top of the morning to you, Raider being in the building. Yes, sir. Michael Guerrero, what's the deal, my friend? Good to see you on this Tuesday morning. You feel me? We in here. Yes, sir. Let me scroll down. Willie Wayne, what's the deal with you, my brother? Thank you for being here. Yes, indeed. Ozzy in the building, man. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brian Rodriguez, good morning to you. Salute to you as well. Good to have you here. NorCal Raider Jesse in the building, my guy. Top of the morning, man. Top of the morning. Let's see who else we got in this Mickey Ficky. You feel me? Let me see. I got to catch up for real. Cassano Crowder, top of the morning to you. Good to have you here. Pyro, my dude, man, top of the morning. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see. Let's see if there's more in there, because I know we had 30 people here now. Shout out to the 30 people watching. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the support. Please hit that thumbs up, that like button, and also subscribe if you have not done so. That would really help the channel out, and I appreciate everything you do. And then I might need a babysitter, so you know what I mean. Y'all send me y'all email address. Nah, Joel E, my dude, man. Top of the morning, I don't need no motherfucking babysitter. My son about to be 14 in a week. Next week, yep. God dang, boy, where the time go? 14 next week, man. God dang it. That's my dog, though. That's my dog. Miguel Santos, man, top of the morning. Thank you for being here. Raider Goon in the building, man. Tops to you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nah, hey, bro, ain't too many running backs in the running back room, because you got to look at it like this. Your roster at 90. You only can take 53 in the regular season, so you knew you was going to be over. Let them fools compete. You never know who's going to be the one to outshine who. You feel me? That's just more opportunities for somebody to get out there and show what they can do. I want to see Sincere, but we're going to get into that in a minute. Hold on, let me get through this real quick, and then we'll get into it, man. That's why I was a little late, man, working on some shit. All right, I think I got Raider Rich in the building, man. Top of the morning, man. Thank you for being here. And that's about it. All right. So, yes, today is the day that the veterans report to camp today here in Henderson. You know what I mean? Where the facility is at. Like I was saying yesterday, Marcus Peters has signed with the Raiders. It's a 1-year deal for $5 million. What does he bring to this team? Does he move the needle? Will he be a starter? There's a lot of questions to be answered. You know what I mean? My take of it is, I think he's brought in here. He's going to contribute. He's going to contribute, no doubt. But I think overall, his niche with the team will be being that veteran voice in that secondary. Because the secondary is very young. That's free agents as well as the draft picks. I think right now Peters at 30 is the oldest, if I'm not mistaken, the oldest player in the secondary, safety or corner. So I do know that they need that veteran voice. That's someone to get them pumped. That's someone, you know what I mean, to have a teammate get in your ass for messing up is way different than a coach doing it. You know, especially a veteran, because you got to respect the veteran. You know what I mean? You got to respect the veteran. So I think he's just that voice of wisdom, that voice of experience to help these young guys, and somebody that these young guys can go to that's their equal, their peer, and get the information they need to go ahead and develop and become a great player at whatever position they're playing at. You know what I mean? As far as the defensive line go, we do have veteran voices there already. You know what I mean? Chandler Jones. Max Crosby got some years under his belt, but Chandler Jones is that OG of that defensive line. You know what I mean? Maybe his production level is not what we expected it last season, but he brings more to the table than just that. I love the fact that Chandler Jones is here, and we drafted people like Tyree Wilson. We go out here and get undrafteds like Adam Plant Jr. Guys like this, you know what I mean, that can really use somebody like Chandler Jones' expertise. So the same thing with the secondary, because these two parts of the defense, the trenches as well as the secondary, they're going to have to work hand in hand. Work hand in hand. And what I mean by that is they both can help each other out. The trenches, the front line of the defense is going to help the secondary by the pass rush, being able to get to the quarterback, making him get rid of the ball before it's time, and letting the secondary be able to make plays on the ball for interceptions, pass breakups, and so forth. And then in reverse, you got the fact that the secondary can lock down the receivers, therefore giving the defensive line time to get to the quarterback for sacks and strip sacks and humps. So it's hand in hand. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the chicken and the egg, which came first. It either or, it could have happened. You know what I mean? So you can get your turnovers either or, secondary or in the trenches. So I think it's a hand in hand type situation where both groups, secondary as well as the defensive line, is going to help each other. You know what I mean? And they need that veteran to help, because this is a very young defense. You know what I mean? A lot of these free agents that we signed were all mid-20s. They're still in their prime. Some of them have not even hit their ceiling yet. That's the crazy thing, because you never know when they get into the right system where their set of skills can help. Like our defense, if these guys that we brought in here have that skill set to come in here and help this team win and make the defense rank jump from the bottom of the league to the middle of the pack, bruh. Like I said, I think the team is being built as a machine. And what I mean by that is that, like I said, don't just look at one individual player. You look at Marcus Peters and everybody, oh, he's a little long in the tooth. He had 2 years ago, he had an Achilles injury. He didn't do so hot last year with Baltimore. Okay, fine and dandy. But in Baltimore, he was not in this system. And what this system consists of is everybody has a role to play, and when they all play it together, the whole defense moves as a whole unit, and therefore be able to go out there and do what it is that they want to do to offenses, whether it's in the air or on the ground, to stop them. You feel me? So, and just like our offense, I don't think it's beyond the big name, even though we got Devontae Adams, but I think he's just part of the whole puzzle to the offense. It's a very balanced offense. It's like there's nothing that this offense can't do at all positions. And I'm talking about the skill positions, the wide receivers, the running backs, tight ends. We have the talent, the group as a whole, to be able to go out there and run any play out the playbook, because we don't lack. Now, defense, we're hoping to get there. That's why they went out there and they drafted the players they drafted at every level. Defensive tackle, defensive end, linebacker, safety, corner. They went out there and they addressed every weakness that we had. And one of the main weaknesses that our defense had was the lack of depth. We did not have the depth at defensive line, at linebacker, in the secondary. We didn't have it. So they drafted and signed free agents to come in there and fill that void. Now, do they fit the scheme that we're running and what we're trying to do? That's why we have camp. Let the best man win. You know what I mean? Even Marcus Peters. Even, hey, bro, go out there and earn it. I don't think anything, not in our predicament, nothing should be given. Just because you service the league so many years, don't automatically give you the right of being a starter. Because what if that young kid behind you is bringing more to the table than what you can now? You know what I mean? If he can do more than you can, and he can give this team a little bit more of a push to get victories than you can, I don't think you should be grandfathered in as far as a starter goes. Just because you've been in the league for so long and whatever you have done in your career, best man should always win the job regardless of when you were drafted or how much money you're making. I always believe that. Because why would you weaken your team just because of salary and placement of being drafted? You should not let that override your team being the best it can be. You know what I mean? So with that being said, Peter's got to go out there and earn it. But I think he has the knowledge to be able to do it. He knows all the tricks of the trade. A lot of corners, veteran corners that ever played in the NFL, that's why a lot of them can go to safety. They learned they got a lot of tricks in their bag. You know what I mean? There's a lot of tricks in a veteran's bag. So where he lacks in speed and maybe athleticism that might be deteriorating over time, he can make up for with knowledge. Being through certain situations over and over again, where it's muscle memory. It's not gonna freeze him up to sit there and have to think and analyze. He can just recognize it right off bat and knows exactly how to attack it. That's a good thing for a veteran. He may not jump as high, he may not run as fast, but he's very sharp. That's the key. He's very sharp upstairs. So we're gonna see how this unfolds. I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie. Just the depth alone allows us to be able to say, well, if this guy can't start, maybe this guy that we brought in here can. At least we have that option, where last year was like, well, if this guy can't start, who the hell do we get? You know what I mean? Is there anybody in free agency? Can we trade for somebody? Because our depth was shallow. We didn't have any. So I'm liking the direction we're going. I like the Peters signing. Like I said, I don't think Peters is going to come in here and get 8 interceptions and nothing like that. But what he can supply these young dudes to get that dog in them out, because can't nobody say Peters is not a dog. You feel me? Can't nobody tell me Marcus Peters does not have that dog in him. He always have that. He represents the O. Come on, bruh. Fools out the O, man, the town. Everybody know about that shit, man. From the east to the north to the fucking west. From the Acorns to the motherfucking Bushrod. You know what I mean? Abgar. Motherfucking International, but we call it E14. You feel me? From Durant Square to fucking Eastmont Mall to MB Mall, for those who remember way back in the day, on MacArthur and Broadway, where the Kaiser fucking hospital is now, was a mall across the street. Festival at the lake. Come on, hip hop on the green. Old school with it. Back when they had the movie theater by where Walmart was on Hagenberger going towards the airport, they knocked that shit down. Come on, bruh. Shit, motherfucker been riding that shit. High Street, Fairfax, MacArthur, you know what I mean? Bancroft. What? Come on now. Let's go. But yeah, man, hey, I like the move. I want to see exactly what their intentions are. This is what I'm thinking his intentions are, or the team's intentions as far as bringing Peters in. I'm thinking they're bringing him in for leadership, to keep that unit together, because sometimes, especially rookies, you know what I mean? This is their first year. You know what I mean? They got to learn the system. They got to bump their head a few times to remember that they got a duck going through the doorway. That's just the nature of the beast. You have to, you're gonna fail at some shit. You gotta embrace that shit though. Failure brings the best out in you. Some gonna quit, some they're gonna learn from it and become better. And that's all you can ask. See, and I keep hearing Hobbs to the slot or to the outside. We're gonna see what their intentions are. You know what I mean? We can sit here until we're blue in the face about where this player should be and that player should be. But what I'm excited, what I want to see, what is our team's plan? What is the front office plan? See, and it has nothing to do with McDaniels. How do I know this? Defense and offense has nothing to do with McDaniels. It's all about Ziegler. Now, they talk to each other because Ziegler said this shit. Ziegler and McDaniels talk about players and so forth and what they need and what they're looking for. Same like Ziegler and Patrick Graham. Now, people think McDaniels picks his players? Nope, but they do come into an agreement with Ziegler, because this is how I know, because this is what they didn't slip out, but this is what they said. Y'all remember Aiden O'Connell? Who was it that brought Aiden O'Connell to the attention of McDaniels? McDaniels didn't know anything about Aiden O'Connell. That was not McDaniels' guy. Ziegler was the one that said, hey, wait till you go see this guy. Because the scouts went out there and found this dude. That's how you got the pecking order of this team working now. The scouts are there to do what it is that they do. You don't let a John Gruden select the draft picks over the GM and then trade them away a year later type shit. You know what I mean? You don't do that. There's a pecking order. There's a reason why you have a GM. Ziegler is running the show. McDaniels is the coach. And you got your coordinators. Now, on defense, how do I know that it's not Patrick Graham selecting? Because Ziegler also said the scouts went and told Patrick Graham, here's some guys that's playing in the Senior Bowl. Check these guys out. And lo and behold, we draft 5 of them. And the 6th is undrafted. These were guys that the scouts and Ziegler and them told Graham to keep his eye on during the Senior Bowl. It wasn't Graham that said, hey, these guys right here are the ones. The scouts did that shit. See, that's the whole thing. And don't forget, the scouts work 365 days a year. As soon as one draft is over, they already done started on the next one. And that's the beauty of the way this pecking order is set up. Is the beautiful way of doing this shit. Everybody has a place to be in a position to play. You feel me? But I like the veteran leadership. All right. So what I was talking about earlier, I'm not going to be on here too long. There's 3 players that I have my eye on with dealing with the undrafteds. And I've told everybody this before. These are the guys that I want to see what they do. You know what I mean? We're in the dark. We hear good things in you know what I mean, in the little mini camp and shit. And then some we heard of the potential they possess. So my 3 guys, and I told you guys this, was Drake Thomas, linebacker, South Carolina State, undrafted. Adam Plant Jr., undrafted, not linebacker, but defensive end, UNLV, and Sincere McCormick out of San Antonio, University of San Antonio, Texas. Those are the 3 guys I'm very curious about. Very curious about. Now, they got others out there. Your Wagner's right tackle, your Curtis, McClendon. Hey, at right guard. I like that. But I don't see them going nowhere because of how much guaranteed money that they were given to come here. You know what I mean? That showed me that the Raiders really, 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 really wanted Curtis and Wagner. You don't just give undrafteds almost $250,000 fully guaranteed. Usually you're around the $75,000 mark as far as being undrafted. $75,000. But these guys got over $250,000. I know almost $500,000 between the two. So that means they were outbidding other teams that were also looking for their services, and they had to give them top dollar to bring them here. Now, you don't give an undrafted top dollar just to turn around and cut him after preseason. You also don't give over $200,000 fully guaranteed to an undrafted if you plan on putting him on the practice squad and not protecting him, allowing another team to grab him. Because I'm going to tell you, offensive lineman will be the first one that another team takes because injuries happen and potential is there in these 2 guys that we went out there and got. So I see them making the 53-man roster unless they protect 1 or 2, because you get 4 protections every week for your players on the practice squad. You can protect 4 every week. It can change. You can bring somebody up. You bring somebody up to the 53. Now you don't need that protection. Now it can go to somebody else. You know what I mean? But offensive lineman is a commodity. Everybody knows that. Offensive linemen are a commodity. That's ground zero. You know, without giving the quarterback time to do what he has to do in that pocket or to open the holes from the running back, your offense ain't shit. It is what it is. You feel me? So with that being said, man, let's take a little quick look at Drake Thomas. Like I said, linebacker, South Carolina. The knock on him is he's undersized. They got him at 5'11", 225. But the key with him is he was very, very, very productive in college, where his size did not matter. Very productive. I'm talking about accolades and everything. Drake Thomas is the real deal. Undersized or not, do not sleep on this dude. That's why he intrigues me. So let's check him out.
Abanikanda in the backfield with Pickett. Kenny wants to throw, and he'll be sacked, and Drake Thomas drops in. And most people consider it a miracle he's able to play, and there's a miraculous interception. Drake Thomas.
Without their best defensive player, Isaiah Moore. Van Dyke rolling to his right. And he just slides down for a big loss. It'll bring up
that clinched bowl eligibility. He's going to roll with it. Going to try to cut back inside, but nothing doing there. Drake Thomas.
They'll try to bring the TJ Ruff unsuccessfully.
Fair use for educational and entertainment purposes only. Fair use. That was Mr. Drake. See, like I said, he's undersized, and that's the knock on him. That's one of the main reasons why he went undrafted. To be a linebacker, and you're 5'11", 225, but look at his production, though. The film does not lie. He's around the ball. He does not let his size and stature limit his production, and that's what you want. You want, like, let's say it like this. He has the Amik Robinson syndrome. You know what I mean? Amik Robinson syndrome. Maybe short and everything, but that has nothing to do with the size of his heart. So with that being said, that's one dude I'm keeping my eye on is Drake Thomas. I look forward to seeing what he can do. Can he some way, somehow find his way on the 53-man roster or even make the practice squad? But will he go out there and outwork people? That's the whole key, the work ethic. I've been telling you guys, all these guys got work ethic. There's been some kind of doubt on them for them not to get drafted. You know what I mean? So whatever that doubt is, are they going to have the work ethic to show and prove to everyone that the opinions about what they can do on the field were all false? So that's a beautiful thing to see, man. I like to see guys, you know what I mean, step up to the plate and knock the shit out the park. You feel me? Next up, like I said, Adam Plant Jr. He's a local guy here from Las Vegas. Went to UNLV after first attending TCU, then transferring to UNLV to be close to home. So with that being said, this guy right here, monster, 6'5", 260 pounds, got a wingspan of, if I remember right, almost 81 inches. Which is similar to what Max Crosby has. These are some long, lanky dudes. We already know Tyree Wilson's, 84-inch at 6'6", 270. Plant is not too far away from that. 1 inch shorter, 10 pounds lighter, and about 3 inches in wingspan less. So here is Adam Plant, the other guy, my number 2 guy. I want to keep my eye on and see exactly what he does for this roster. He has that motor that reminds me of Max Crosby. He doesn't quit on plays. His length is an asset. You know what I mean? So I really like this kid, man. I would like to see what he can do. We're going to all find out starting tomorrow. You know what I mean? We are only, let's see, this week, next week, we are 3 weeks away from the first preseason game, August 13th, against the 69ers? Yes, buddy. I want to see these guys all get burned out there on the field, and I really want to assess and see what they bring to the table, and can they help this defense rankings move up the chart from where the hell they were at last year. You feel me? Last but not least is my guy. That's why I said Josh Jacobs. Yeah, you can. Your business moves is your business move, bruh. You have a value, but even you sitting out ain't going to get you no money this year. That deadline is gone. It's either now it comes down to either sign the franchise tag or don't. You feel me? So it ain't either or. But the only thing that is, if you get this next guy and this guy shines because he sat out all last year coming off of an injury, if this kid right here, and he reminds me a lot of Josh Jacobs, just his vision, his quickness within his area. Excuse me. He reminds me a lot of Josh Jacobs. Very strong lower body, known to squat 500 pounds. Short stature at what, 5? Is he what, 5'11"? 5'9"? Is it 5'9"? Something like that. 205 pounds. So he got a good 200 pounds on him. No other than Sincere McCormick. Let's check him out. Those are my guys. That's the 3 I got my eye on. Sincere McCormick is that, bruh. He's that one right there, that enigma that you really don't know because we haven't seen him yet. But I'm factoring in all the things that are an asset to him, as far as you can see in college, his vision. You can see his cutback ability. But the thing that we all got to look at also is him having a low center of gravity, being short, stocky in stature at 205 pounds, and a strong lower body, able to squat 500. Bruh, that's a lot of good things for a running back his size. That means it's going to be very difficult to get him down on the ground. He's going to be lower than any, adversary he faced, from linebackers to linemen. He might not be the biggest, but don't underestimate this dude. Do not underestimate Sincere McCormick. I'm telling you, if this kid get an opportunity, he might push Zamir White. I'm telling you. Zamir White, I like. I want to see him if he develops, though. Like I said, year 1, I know you're going to have growing pains. As a rookie, you're going to have growing pains in a brand new system. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Do you learn from those growing pains? Does it make you a better player by going through it and understanding what it is that you have to do to get better? That's the only thing you need to worry about. What do you have to do to get better? But as a rookie, oh yeah, you're gonna go through it. You're gonna go through it. So that's my 3 guys. Also, what I see happening, I see Alex Bars getting beat out at the right guard spot by Mutai from Denver. And this is where it's going to get kind of tricky. I can see McClendon Curtis, the undrafted out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, at right guard. Big dude. Being Mutai's backup, maybe, possibly. And if not at the worst, the 3rd string. On that offensive line, I see that happening. I don't see Alex Bars making the team. A lot of people say, well, he does have experience in the system. Okay, he does. But he also gave up 5 sacks last year as well. Now, as much as we knock on Illuminor, we know Illuminor had 10 penalties, but 6 of those were false starts. That's a mental thing. You can fix a false start. Just fucking don't get off the line of scrimmage until the ball snapped. That was 6 of the 10 penalties he had. And he gave up 3 sacks, but it ain't 5 and 6 like Alex Bars. Hold on, who gave up 6? Was it shit? Where my information at, bruh? It was Parham. Now Parham is a concern to me. Dylan Parham, 6 sacks he gave up last year. Now, can you connect the dots by saying that's because of him being a rookie? You know what I mean? And being forced in there? Possibility. The learning, the growing pains. 6 sacks. You know what I mean? You get in there against these veterans that you got to go up against, and these guys is coming and getting the best of you. You have to learn from that. It's all a learning experience. Now, do you get better in year 2? That's the only thing that matters. Do you get better in year 2? The same with the team. Does the team get better in year 2? That's all that matters. I don't care about the 6 wins last year. Can't do nothing about them now. But can you do better from that to this year? Improvement is all that you want. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm excited because there's new faces, new additions, and I want to see exactly how they construct we already know the offense, but there's a couple of pieces, like I said, on the right side of the offensive line. Who is Alex Bars gone? Is he going to get beat out? Is one of these 2 undrafteds, Wagner or Curtis, will they make the team? Can they possibly take over Illuminor? Can Wagner take over Illuminor's spot? You know what I mean? We gonna find out. But as rookies, I don't see it. But I'd rather see them, if they do make the team, put them in a position of learning from the guys ahead of them. And then when it's their time to go ahead and take over, they can hit the ground running. You know what I mean? But due to injuries and whatnot, you'll get those situations where sometimes you got to force these young guys in there before they're ready. You know what I mean? Just because you're personnel. Do you have the personnel to come in and take over a spot for an injured player? If not, you're going to have to, like we did last year, you're going to have to. What they said, we had 16 different combinations on the offensive line last year. That's a lot of injuries. Somebody go down, you got to start shuffling shit around. You can't develop continuity that way. So for them to get depth, I like that. They didn't go out there and draft offensive linemen, but they did get a couple of big, solid undrafteds. So they did add, you know what I mean? They added dude from Denver, Mutai, like we mentioned, which I do see him getting that starting right guard spot over Bars. I think Bars is asked out. For him to be a veteran and have the system under 1 year under his belt, and you give up 5 sacks, bruh. One of them 5, and especially as much as people are worried about Garoppolo getting hurt again, we can't afford nobody giving up 5 sacks. We can't afford Parham giving up 6. Because all it takes is one of them sacks to get his ass hurt. That's 11 sacks between them two. 11 sacks. And all you need is one to get that motherfucker put out of game. And then Hoyer, what? Hoyer gonna lead us to the Super Bowl? Good luck. He's good to hold it down until Garoppolo checks in and be like, yeah, it's all right, man. I just got a cramp. You know what I mean? But anything more serious than that, bruh, we on a hope and a prayer. You feel me? So yeah, that's my concern there. But yeah, man, I can't wait for this shit to go down. Tomorrow they check in, so man, it's gonna be exciting, man, to see how this thing goes. Felt like the whole season. And you know what, too? That's the best way to describe that shit. That's a perfect evaluation. It was an extended preseason, bruh. It had to be. Because what do you use preseasons for? Usually when you already have a regime already in place, right? That's to say they've been there a couple of years already. Preseasons are used for the new guys to come learn the system that's already installed. This past year, everybody had to go in and learn the system because it was first installed. Even the veterans that were already here. See, that's the difference. Every preseason is your new guys, free agents, the draft picks. Okay, this is our offense, this is our defense. This is what you got to learn. And then you got players that's already been in it that can help you. It's an easy transgression from not knowing to knowing with the help of your peers. That's beautiful. Last year we didn't have that. Unless you had a couple that's been in the system years ago, that could be like, oh yeah, I remember this. You know what I mean? But last year it was like 90% of the team was like brand new to it. You know what I mean? Was brand new to it. Now this year you bring in the Garoppolos, which is at the quarterback position in this system is very, very, very important position to play, because now you go from the center calling protection to the quarterback now calling protections. You know what I mean? That's what they said the difference between John Gruden's offense and McDaniel's offense. Gruden, the center. The center was the one calling out protections, which a lot of offenses, they go that route. But Josh McDaniels, it falls on the head of the quarterback to make those decisions and call those protections out. He has to be able to read that shit and call the right protections. So that's why it's not just the play that the quarterback is responsible for, but it's also the protection that he has to be responsible for as well. You know what I mean? So he's double duty. Quarterback is all on the, but see, at least the quarterback has the leeway, you know what I mean, to see shit, to be able to call the right play. You know what I mean? So we'll see how this shit go though. The bare necessities, what's the deal? You know what? I agree with you. I think he's gonna turn it up as well. I mean, because sometimes, put it like this: Garoppolo was in a situation where he won. He won games. You cannot deny he did not win games with the Niners. But you know how the Niners are? They're kind of like that antsy ass team that's like always looking for the next best thing. You know what I mean? Because now it looks like what they're done with the quarterback that they brought in to replace Garoppolo is now getting replaced by Purdy. It's not gonna stop, bruh. It's like an addiction. It's like, you know what I mean? You get high for the first time, and for the rest of your life, you chasing that first high, and you'll never catch it. That's what the Niners is doing. They're trying to chase that first high. You're not gonna get it, bruh. You're not gonna get it. You know, so with that, them giving up on Garoppolo, now sometimes your mindset is, I'll show these motherfuckers. Let Garoppolo play against the Niners on the 13th. I know it's a game that don't count, but I know he got something to prove. I'll give you a good example. Do you remember the only game, it seemed like this for real. I might be putting 10 on 2, but you remember the only game Culpepper had that was great for us when he played for us? You remember the one game that he balled the fuck out was against Miami, that he played there and they gave up on him because of his knee. And you remember he scored what? He scored 3 touchdowns. And you remember he was pointing at his knee in the end zone? Like, yeah, my knee is okay. You know what I mean? But that was like the only game he had. But see, it was that team that pushed him to play that good. You know what I mean? Just like the Cowboys pushed Randy Moss to do what he did because of how they did not pick him. You know what I mean? You always get that game. So Garoppolo might be that dude, bruh. I know, like I said, it's just a preseason game. It's just a preseason game. But he has something to prove. You can't say he don't have anything to prove. For one, he wants to prove that he's durable. And 2, the winning percentages that he has as a quarterback was not a fluke. And the red zone is not a fluke. I just got this feeling. He's in a... See, and I tell people this, and I said this shit yesterday, but some of you guys weren't here. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Thank y'all for pulling up, man. We got Raider Pete in the building. Oh, you was there? Bruh, I remember that game like it was yesterday. Culpepper balled the fuck out in that game. In Miami. Did he rush for 3 touchdowns, didn't he? I think it was 3 touchdowns that he rushed for. Because I remember him pointing at his knee and telling the crowd in the end zone his knee is okay. But that was like the only great game he had with us. Justin Fargas? Yep. Man, I'm telling you, I remember that shit, bruh. But that was the motivating game for Culpepper. Culpepper, he was bottled up with all that. I hope that's what we get out of Garoppolo. Not just against the Niners in the preseason game, but that first preseason game is what's going to put him on track to give him that competitiveness again. You know, where he knows he's in a system and he's on a team that wanted him here. Remember, the Niners tried to trade his ass back during their camp. But they couldn't find nobody to trade him. So they kept him on the team. And then Lance goes down. And then Garoppolo takes over for him and takes the team to 8-3. Bruh, this dude, and I don't care what nobody say, oh, he had this and had that around him. Ain't that what we went around him too? Isn't that what we go draft defensive players and sign free agents to try to get that around him too? He got the weapons on offense. Shit, you can't say he don't have the offensive weapons. Can't say that shit at all. Now, the defense, can they hold their own? Can they do better than they did last year? Is the talent they acquired the best talent for what we're trying to do? Plain and simple. Like I said, Garoppolo was born for this system. He was born for it. When New England drafted him, 2nd round, they drafted him because they felt he fits this system. That's the difference between him and Carr. And everywhere I look, they say, even on ESPN, they said the same shit. And I can see that. I've been saying that shit. They were like, oh, do you think Garoppolo's an upgrade over Carr in this system? Yes. Yes. In this system, Garoppolo is an upgrade. Overall, as a quarterback, if you want to look at the stats and whatnot, Garoppolo's a winner. You know, that you can't deny. He's been in the Super Bowl and played in it. He's won playoff games. You know what I mean? But he's better suited for this offense. He was drafted as a rookie because he fit this offense the same exact way why this team drafted Aiden O'Connell. They didn't draft Carr because he fits this system. Carr was already here, and whoever drafted Carr prior drafted him to fit their system when McKenzie was here. Carr was drafted for a whole different system. See, you got to draft for fit. You got to draft for fit, I'm telling you. And that's what they did with Garoppolo, and the same they did with Aiden O'Connell. They were both drafted for fit, specifically for this offense. They get the ball out quick. They're a pocket passer. They're mobile to an extent. Not somebody you ain't going to see them blaze no 4-3. That ain't going to happen. But enough to move around within the pocket to let shit open up to get, in case nothing's there. But you go watch Aiden O'Connell's film. That's what I want to do. I'm going to look at O'Connell and Garoppolo from college, though. From college. I want to see what the similarities between those two quarterbacks is, because if both of them were both drafted for this system, I want to get a better... I understand about the quick release and all that, but I want to see other things. You know what I mean? As far as the similarities that, okay, this is what they also seen. You know what I mean? Because they both possess this same attribute. I want to break that shit down and look at that too, just to see exactly what is it in a quarterback that they seek. You know what I mean? But that's it right there though. Both of those quarterbacks were drafted for this Josh McDaniels system. Carr never was. Carr wasn't. Carr struggled. You know what I mean? He struggled. The red zone was our Achilles heel. A lot of those games we lost, we could have won if our red zone efficiency was a lot better than what it was this past season. A lot better, So, we'll see. 802. Yep, I'm about to jump off here, though. But yes, man, I can't wait, you know what I mean, to see all the faces come in today. But tomorrow, when they hit that field, bruh, keep our ear to the ground, y'all. Hey, let's go Raiders. Let's go. This is the time to be optimistic. You got to be optimistic with new toys to play with. You feel me? He said, who got the quiz? I never played quarterback, bro. So I bet you I outrun his ass, though. Even at my age, I bet you I outrun him. I bet you he can't beat me in the 40. And I got him by like, see, O'Connell, what, about 22? He about 22? I got him by like 22 years. And I guarantee you, he can't beat me in the 40. At my age. Now, he might be able to, he might got a quicker release. Oh, shit. I bet you I got a better pullout. I bet you my pullout game is better. But yeah, man, hey, shout out to all y'all for pulling up, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. For those who are here for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like, man. Hey, we will be back tomorrow morning. Same Raider time, same Raider channel. It's the Good Morning Raider Nation live podcast right here on Raiders Legion. Pull up because y'all family. You know what I mean? Kick off your shoes, grab you a brewski or whatever you drink in the morning. Hang out with your boy, man. We gonna talk about it and be about it. You feel me? It's Raiders or nothing. So with that being said, man, you guys enjoy your day. Be safe. Make it back home to your loved ones so y'all can pull up and hang out with me tomorrow, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy your Tuesday. Be blessed. I'm out this. B-I-N.